All right. I'm also here with an old friend. I emphasize the old part. No, Debbie Kelly. Debbie, you were here. You got me involved in a lot of what I'm doing today.
I did?
You really did, because you were part of the SARE program.
Yep.
and did a lot of things, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, so I've been with Extension for 30 years, believe that or not, Tim.
I'm almost 37.
Oh, wow, cool.
Exactly.
You can tell we're getting old. But that means we have a lot of knowledge and information.
That's right.
And biases, of course. So the first 20 years that I was here, I was on campus and I worked with what was called the Missouri Alternative Center for Alternative Agricultural Enterprises.
Okay.
And then I also worked as the SARE coordinator for the University of Missouri. SARE is a USDA agency, Sustainable Agriculture Research and Education. And they are part of USDA, but they're not housed like at a state office. They're housed on campuses, land-grant universities, because they provide grants in multiple different fashions and ways, which is really exciting. And then after that, I moved to Jefferson County. I was a field specialist in horticulture. I worked a lot with beginning farmers, and I have beginning farmers my entire career, and then also with what we call outreach assistance for socially disadvantaged farmers and ranchers. So those, I worked in the St. Louis area, loved all the folks I worked with there. The position here in Boone County is actually a new position.
Oh, wow.
Totally new, because Boone County has never had a field specialist in horticulture. So part of my job is to do that, half of my time, and so that's why we're here with Extension Master Gardeners, the heart of Missouri.
They did a great job, didn't
they do a fabulous job. I'm so blessed to be able to work with them. And then the other half of my job is I am now the State Extension Master Gardener Coordinator.
That's important.
Yes, it is.
Because it's been without somebody for a while, hadn't it?
Well, Dr. Dave Trinkline has been the coordinator, and he's retired. I had him as a professor, as a student here, believe that or not. It's just amazing. So it's like awesome to be working as closely with him as I am. We're moving to a new system. So North Carolina State University and Colorado State University both have a two-tiered system. So the individual that is housed on campus, that has a PhD and actually has an office on campus is now the director.
Okay.
And then the coordinator is someone, for us at the University of Missouri, we have to have a master's degree to be a field specialist. And so I'm housed at the Boone County Extension office and I am the coordinator. And so Dave kind of is the director, and he does all of these kinds of things. And then I'm the coordinator, so I do all of the work. Now, Dave does a lot of the work too, don't get me wrong, but I'm the hands on the ground doing all of the work.
Working directly with the groups and
yeah,
such.
the statewide, with all the different chapters across the state. We also have what is called the Missouri Master Gardener Association, so the chapters across the state can be a member of that association, and so I'm the liaison with that association as well.
Wow, that keeps you busy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Oh, and on top of that, each year, we do the Extension Master Gardener program as a face-to-face training across the state where the horticulture folks are, field specialists are located. But we also do what is the online Extension Master Gardener course. So we start that in the middle of January when classes on campus start. When they end in May, that's when the class stops. And then we do it again in the middle of August, and we'll go through until the end of our middle of December. So it's with the semesters, and it's done online. So I'll be very active with doing that. And we're trying to ramp that up and make it a little bit more interactive and those sorts of things. So I'm pretty busy doing all kinds of stuff.
So is that Master Gardener, it's kind of a certification, right?
Yeah, so it's a certification. So we have to have a minimum of 30 hours of education by an approved individual, whether it be a field specialist. We can have an agronomy specialist come in and talk about soils.
Sure.
Okay, so you have to have 30 hours across a myriad of all different kinds of things of gardening. And then you get your certificate. And then we ask those individuals that graduate to donate 30 hours, volunteering 30 hours back to their community.
Something like this would be part of that.
Yes, and my chapter, the Heart of Missouri Master Gardeners, they actually were out here today helping to plant the tomatoes and the peppers, and we're excited for this. So they donate their time back, and so each year as an active Master Gardener, they do 20 hours of volunteering as a minimum and 6 hours of continuing education. So they can watch webinars, they can have a speaker come to their chapter meeting, and they have an education program. And it doesn't take a whole lot to remain active, but I'll tell you what, these are passionate people, and they love to work and to volunteer, and they love to give back to their community and to do education. So it's an
wow.
exciting program.
And you don't have to be an expert going in.
No, and you don't have to be an expert going out. And everybody's like, oh, I can't do an education program, or I can't answer these questions. I don't know enough. And I'm like, you've got the skill set. We've taught you. It's like me, when I was in college, I remembered all the stuff and I took the test. I may not remember it, but I have the resources to go back and find that information to be able to help those people.
And you'd be surprised how much you can start putting together.
Yes.
You really, you know, my background was all agronomy. And when people started asking me about horticultural questions, well, I don't know, but wait just a minute, they're still plants.
Yes.
And I can figure this out.
Yes.
So, yes. And like you said, soils overlaps with agronomy and horticulture. It all overlaps together. So what do you think is going to be a big topic in the future for horticulture?
Oh, geez. I mean, it could go in multiple different directions. It kind of depends on, you know, we've got a lot right now that's happening with our produce safety. And when we think of produce safety, when we think of food safety, you think about how you cook it in the kitchen, which is really important, of course, but we have to think about how is that plant growing? How do we harvest that plant? How do we wash or prep that plant, or are the fruit or the vegetable or whatever it is we're harvesting, to make sure that it was produced safely to go to the market for people to eat and consume? Because, you know, there's a lot of things that can happen. I mean, there are animals in the field, you know, all those different kinds of things. And so produce safety is something that's finally out there now that we've been doing a lot of training on. As far as the next step, I think the push right now at least is vertical farming.
Oh, wow.
And hydroponics. But it's not going to be for an everyday, and especially for our small scale producers, because you're looking at a lot of infrastructure, right? And hydroponics can also be a lot of infrastructure. You need the buildings, you need, there's a lot of plastic being used with hydroponics. Hydroponics can be very scientific because you're working with chemicals and you have to figure out the pH and all the chemistry that goes with it. But we've been trained, the horticulture folks have been trained, so we've been going out across the state and doing some trainings with hydroponics. So it's a hot topic right now. Now, whether it becomes something that people actually do and actually go into the business on a small scale, they probably can. But if they're looking at going much larger, it's probably gonna take a few bucks in order to get that infrastructure in place.
But and flowers are part of your opportunity.
Oh,
too?
most definitely. Cut flowers is a huge industry. I know someone who started out really small is now selling to florists and to Florist Row, which is the auction place in the St. Louis area. So flowers is really important, and it's amazing because people don't want to spend a lot of money for their food, but they'll spend money for flowers.
That's neat. That's neat. And well, I'd like to see it here at the University of Missouri, not only because we have our floral design classes, which are very popular. Those same students need to learn how to grow their flowers.
Exactly.
That's the next part that we need to
That
get
is,
going on
and
that.
we in the field are thinking about trying to create a curriculum for educating, people on how to grow their cut flowers. So I don't know if how soon that might develop. We do have a new budget. Manita Ali is a urban ag business specialist out of St. Louis, and she just created a budget for cut flower farmers.
Oh, wow, that's great. My kids are grown, and they were just talking one time about what they would do differently if they could have, instead of doing what they went into, and they talked about different things, and they asked me what I would have done. So I'd have been a florist and grown my own flowers.
Oh, I love flowers. I don't grow vegetables. I would grow some of my own flowers because I'm dedicated to my small-scale producers, produce, horticulture producers. So I go to the farmers markets and I buy from them. And most of the farmers at the markets know who I am. So it's not like I can go to one place and buy everything. I got to buy little stuff all over the place.
You're talking about the farmers markets. Which is the biggest draw? Locally grown, where you know your farmer, or organic?
Local.
That's really taken over, hadn't it?
Well, I think it always has been local. There was a trend towards organic, which is great, but I think really it's local. And there are a lot of folks who grow in an organic fashion, but they're not certified organic.
Right.
And so the prices for that are going to be a little bit cheaper at a farmer's market. There are folks out there that do want the certified organic. I know my niece is very interested in that because of some different types of things with her kids. However, she's willing to pay that price.
Yes.
And, it's a market that's going to fit a particular niche. But one of the organic farmers I know, she's one of my favorite farmers. So I
know
have
who
to
you're
buy.
talking about too.
Exactly. And so I have to buy.
She's very good.
Yes, and it's not uncommon for me to get text messages from her on an ongoing basis. But so I try to spread my money throughout with all the different producers because we need to keep them in business. They need to know that they are an intricate piece to the community in general and to the health of the people.
One thing, my daughters are millennials. They have children, and they're willing to spend more money on food than we are.
I'm finding that true with my niece.
Yes, it's a different
mindset.
It surely is, and the Missouri farmers are poised for that.
The vast majority are. I agree
great.
with you 100%.
One last thing.
Sure.
For a few years, I would go down to Rolla and speak at their horticulture college or wherever they called it. They had this great program in March. And it was just fantastic. And of course, they lost their horticulture field specialist. It's falling apart. Can you see that coming in Missouri again, somewhere where in the wintertime we bring all the general public in to learn more?
Yeah, so we have the Extension Master Gardener Conference every year. 1 year, one of the chapters out there. So this is 2024. So on the even years, the Extension Master Gardener, a chapter across the state, will have a conference. This year, it's going to be in St. Joe towards the end of September, and it's open to the public.
Oh, great!
So that's great. Then, as far as our horticulture producers, they have what is called the Great Plains Growers Conference also in St. Joe. But remember, Master Gardener Conference moves around the state.
Sure.
The Great Plains Growers Conference is, I think, 6 universities helped to plan that, and it's over five different states. And Missouri's got 2 universities, Lincoln University and University of Missouri, so that's why there's an additional number than the number of states. And so we bring in all of the producers from around in those areas. And St. Joe is kind of the general vicinity where all those states can come together, and that's usually the second weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday of January, up at in St. Joe on campus. When they do it then, because no one's on campus.
It's a cold time of year. I've been there.
Oh, believe me, I've been there too. It's been very cold. It's been snowy, icy.
Excellent.
It's a fantastic conference. Both of these conferences are. So going back to the Extension Master Gardener Conference, I neglected to say that in the odd years, so like next year of 2025, those of us that are horticulture specialists across the state with the university, we get together and plan the conference itself. Okay. And so it's more of a mini conference is what they call it, where we'll do some education pieces. And sometimes we could do it virtually and have it totally open to the public, where we'll do it like an all day on a Saturday and different folks will come in and do presentations. Sometimes we actually do it face-to-face with maybe a tour to a farm or something along in that line, or to a garden or whatever is going to be exciting, wherever that might be.
Kind of a train the trainer in a way.
Yes, most definitely.
All right. Well, anything else, Debbie? This has been great.
Oh, I'm just back to be in Columbia. I feel like I've come home again, and it's great to see people. You
graduated from a long time ago.
Both of my degrees are from here. So
I saw pictures of you in band.
Yes, I was in Marching Mizzou. That is definitely true.
1980.
Oh, actually earlier than that.
Okay. All right. Well, this is it. Today is a fantastic day.
I brought the weather.
That's right. All right. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.
Thank you.